What's up, guys? Vince right here. Welcome to VinzTalk. If you've never heard of this series, it's basically me just talking to you about whatever topics, news, and stuff like that. It's basically my own drama alert. Okay, actually, no, it's not drama alert. It's my own rambling series. Not like like any other channel itself. I mean, then again, it's like a memo of me talking. I don't know. Whatever is popping out there in the world, this is my only way to tell you because I know my main focus is the Let's Reads, but I kind of just want to express my opinions on other things, not just, Let's Read and stuff, but also stuff surrounding gaming and also animations and just whatever shows I've been watching, what movies and what's happening in my life and travels. And that's what I'm about to talk about is pretty much my trip that I went to LA pretty much. Just went to Southwest LA and just chilled there. Look, I don't know what was the purpose or anything. I think it was like a long plan event or something like that. It was a long plan something because last time I went there was like back in summer and of last year, which is 2021. And now, 2021/2022, I went there for New Year's and I chilled with my cousins, and that's where I celebrate my New Year's. And that was well gifted. That was pretty much really fun. It's something that I needed, but I never thought that it would be this hard to go out there and travel. It was risky because when I was traveling, I know that if you don't know where I'm staying at, I have to test as, I have to be negative from COVID, because of the fact that I live with people that are, right now are senior citizens and, they can't afford to be sick. They will perish and stuff like that. It will be kind of serious. So, as a respect, I try to really keep myself safe and I try to keep myself safe around them and make sure I'm cured. I even go as far to got a booster. I got a booster shot, actually. I went to I pretty much, it was a very quick one. I just went to my nearest hospital, got me a booster, and I felt good. And pretty much, I'm not one of those people saying, like, oh, you seriously need to get a booster. You need to get it and stuff like that. Hey, anyone can make their decisions. It doesn't matter to me. For me personally, I knew that I need to get a booster. But anyone else, yes, you should get it. But other than that, pretty much it's all up to you if you're comfortable and stuff like that. I don't believe the whole thing about you have to go like, you need to get a booster in order to like, continue working and stuff like that. Because some jobs don't require it. Some require it because that's their job and stuff like that. And I'm not in this whole agenda like being I don't understand the whole anti-vax thing, and my AC's on, by the way. But pretty much, I got my own booster and pretty much I feel good. It was nothing serious. I even skated after that. Pretty much I was exercising and then I felt okay. So yeah, if you can, if you're comfortable getting a booster, you should get a booster. That's for sure. But hey, I'm not a doctor or anything. Don't take my word for it. It's all up to you. Okay. I'm not forcing. I'm not here to, really say like, you need to take a booster or else, no. Okay. I'm not crazy. I'm just letting people know that because, we're in this political climate where people are just, all over the place. And pretty much, I don't know what I'm trying to say there. But, pretty much my booster and everything. And then, that's when I went to the airport, travel, pretty much I was very unfamiliar with this whole thing about, of traveling with your skateboard because that was the whole reason why I went to over there, in LA was to skate, and stuff like that. But also do other things, usually to hang out with my cousins. And I was very careful bringing my skateboard there because I had to wrap it around with garbage bags or whatever, and I had to wrap it around and stuff like that. So pretty much my board was all wrapped up and everything, and it was in a bag, so I wasn't carrying it. I wasn't having it as a carry-on. I have it as a checked bag. Then I saw two men that are kind of like same as my age, 20s, whatever, and these fine gentlemen, fine, let me tell you, that brought their skateboard, and I was like, wait, you're telling me I can just bring it? Like, I thought, they would actually seize it because that was the one thing I was worried about. I was literally looking up YouTube videos like, okay, bring your skateboard to the airport and, make sure you're safe and stuff like that. Because my board was a big board, okay? I had a big boy board, okay? And pretty much it was sharp because razor tail is a thing for those that are, skateboarders as well, my fellow skaters out there that, you know what I mean. And pretty much I know I don't want to deal with security taking my board and being suspicious about my board, because that's what I feel like. I don't understand. Maybe I'm not that kind of skater to feel like, worried. I tend to worry. Okay. I don't know. That's just how I am. But they seem to be chill, and they just carry the board. They're literally having their own skateboard in their hands. And for me, I didn't. And I was like, damn, if only I knew. Okay. If only I was comfortable bringing my board. Then again, I don't know where I would put it if I brought it inside the airplane. So that's the thing. But, good thing I didn't, because the airplane was packed, and I was kind of like very careful. I was double masking, and pretty much I was trying to keep safe because of, the news about this whole new, what, of a, what is out there spread. And pretty much I was trying my best, like, nope, I'm not going to catch it, because I'm not in a good luxury to catch it. Now, hence, if I was living alone, if I was having my own place, I'm talking about with nobody inside, and I was fully isolated, like literally my own house or mansion. Dreams can come true, but my own house, then I would be okay with it. But unfortunately, not unfortunately, I have to actually check if I'm negative, and I have to get a booster, and I have to do all this stuff, so that they can feel safe around me, and knowing that, because, I can feel, safe with them, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's pretty much how it went. I went it was a short flight. It was beautiful though. I love going on airplanes. I love actually just, feeling the turbulence when we actually fly up. Some people are scared of that. If you know me, you know for a fact that I'm not scared of heights. I love heights. Okay. Reason why I skateboard in the first place. I wish I can fly so I can go up there, 17,000 feet off the air, and just witness life itself. And some people think I'm crazy, but I'm full extreme. Pretty much, I'm not like extreme, like going crazy, like I know my, balance and stuff like that. But I just love a good old, like, seeing the view and feeling the air in your face when you're on the clouds, when you're in cloud nine, but not when you're on top of, like, full apogee, when you're actually going to space and stuff. Like, no, I'm not. I don't know how to really do that. Then again, I feel like I would be pretty okay if I went to space or something like that. If NASA was like, Vince, we're gonna send you to Mars. Gotcha. Okay, say no more, Elon. I'm going. I'm packed up for 6 months, and I'm packed up for my rest of my life when I get there. As long as they got like washing machines. But of course, that's a crazy example that I just gave. I don't know. This is a very crazy podcast right now. I apologize. This is how I am, by the way. I tend to talk like this, expressing whatever is in my mind. I tend to maneuver whatever is in my mind, and I just, bring it to you. I serve it up to you, like, boom. Anyways, yeah, I went to a flight, hung out there, chill, went to the skate park, hung out with my cousins. We went to a mall. Did a lot of shopping. Outlets in a couple of malls there in LA. We try to be safe, so we went to places that aren't crowded. And also, if I want to go, like, exercise and skate with them, I had to wake up very early. But it was all fun, and a lot of good food. A lot of good food, especially New Year's. I had, like, the best macaroni I can ever had. I had the best pack of potatoes. And pretty much I just was left eating leftovers in their house because it was that good. I also had, like, the most delicious apple pie. I think, is it apple pie? It's something. But I had an apple pie there. It was so good. And yeah, I had just like a good feast, just good old eats. And yeah, pretty much I think I gained a little bit of weight. But you know what? I'm about to lose some. Don't worry. I got my own little garage here in this, apartment that isn't mine. But hey, at least it's a good way for me to actually work out in extended amount of time, since I got nothing else better to do since I'm here. But yeah, pretty much I I was literally like there for, just like man, like 2 weeks almost. Man, I was there for a while. Like, it was just usually like, hey, want to hang out? Like, where we're going, shopping, and then go skating, then go, like, they were playing basketball. I was the only one skating. I pretty much felt like I was the only one skating around anywhere, because there was just not a lot of people, because it was during New Year's holidays and whatever. So why would they skate when, especially the fact that how cold it was? I didn't know that LA would be that foggy, but apparently it is. It would be this cold and stuff, cold weather and all that. It's not comfortable to skate in cold weather, depending on who you are. But yeah, I had a good time. I bought a couple of hats in here and there. And also, I did a little podcast bit with the boys, which I might post in this channel because I just want to showcase it. I'm really trying to edit it and finding out like what I should edit out in some of it, because they told me to edit some of the parts of it that I kind of made mistakes on or whatever, since I showed it to them, as we were recording. Then they listened to the record, and then I actually played a bunch of video games. I actually got to witness playing a PS5 that they have. They have like a bunch of video games, like PCs, and then they, each of them have their own PS5s. So and also they like had an Xbox Wii and Xbox 360 and all the older consoles. So there was a batch of consoles. They were hidden in other places, but I was playing my Nintendo Switch because they don't have a Switch. They have a bunch of consoles, but in whatever to play games, but they don't really have a Nintendo Switch. So I brought my Nintendo Switch through the airport, which was of course easy. And yeah, pretty much played a bunch of games there. We were playing a whole bunch of Pro Skaters, since I did bought Pro Skater 1 and 2. And also on the PS5, I'm going to talk about it later because there's a gaming section in this podcast that I do want to talk about it. But yeah, it was a lot of good times. It was pretty much, I went traveling everywhere. I did pretty much, it was so enjoyable knowing that I was in an area, and this was in an area like pretty much almost in the desert, because if you don't know, LA is pretty big. Los Angeles is huge. Okay, like it's like 2 hours each section. It's like 4 hours of how big the city is. That crazy. But yeah, I was just, we were actually just chilling pretty much. We didn't go to like the bigger areas like Venice Beach or Huntington or whatever, even though I do want to go there and I really do want to skate there, honestly. But no, we really didn't have a chance to really go there at all. So yeah, pretty much, that didn't really happen. But it is what it is. Maybe next time when I do come there, because there's just so much to see in LA, despite how bad it is right now with all the homeless and all that, stuff. There's still enjoyable things to see, at least in my head, mostly. You just have to watch out. And I really find myself enjoying all of what I saw in Los Angeles. From some destinations, from tourist spots in Palm Springs, and also from a couple of areas here and there in the Burbanks. But yeah, it was a good time. Pretty much we also pretty much mostly play games, and we chatted, and we watched like a bunch of TikToks. That's kind of like the one thing that I found out us doing, was watching a bunch of TikToks. But yeah, I was taken care of. I was pretty much I was good, I have to say. But other than that, even though it felt like very low key, felt very chill, which that's the way it should be. And pretty much I was beginning to actually miss my older apartment, because I didn't really I didn't have like a bed that is pretty much I had a bed that's comfortable, but it was like sometimes like hot in the room and stuff like that, but nothing. It was just like small deals, that's for sure. But also something interesting happened, something that I didn't know. I actually came out in front of one of my cousins. It was just one cousin, because we were talking. We had a whole spiritual talk about like financial and stuff like that. If I wish I recorded a podcast about it, but I actually was telling him something. I don't know what it was that I was talking about, but I said something like, "Man, I don't like." I think I said something like we were talking about life and how I was growing up, saying that I didn't like, being much of a man. And that's very hard to talk about, because I don't know what it was that made me go into that topic. And then he asked me like, what is it? Is it your gender preference and stuff like that? And then that's when I was like, man, okay, fine. Okay, I'll tell you. And then I tell him, it's all in my bi. And he was like, he wasn't shocked compared to Stefan. I remember sharing that to Stefan, and he was shocked. He was like, oh, you're bi? I was like, yeah, man, I'm bi. Yeah, okay. You're happy now? And I correct it. I always correct. I'm still like somewhat straight here and there or something, but I can't really ever make that promise, honestly, at least for my decision. But yeah, I am who I am. But I'm basically normal. I always see that like, being bi is normal. Okay, it's just I have more options, I guess. But man, it's just that he was like, oh, okay, that's cool, man. That's good. He support that, and he was sharing his stories about within the LGBT community and stuff like that that he was talking about. And yeah, I told him like, hey, man, listen, I'm not one of those crazy ones. Okay, I'm just I am who I am, and I'm trying to be like having because the thing is that there's different people that are part that is part of like the LGBT Q plus community that are just low key about it, just like me. I'm kind of like low key about it because why should I be out there putting signs or whatever and all that? I'm still who I am. I'm still wearing the clothes that I like to wear. That is not a dress really or anything crazy like that. I'm just normal. you know no one would actually think I'm like full man. I think he said to me like, man, I really thought you were like full and straight, which yeah, pretty much many people do, especially the way I look. Let me tell you, I look like I kind of own like what 3 kids and I have a wife or something, but that's not really true, and I don't really have like my own family or anything. One day I will, but yeah, that's just I told him who I am, and pretty much he said like something like, man, okay, I guess it made all sense. And all that. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's the way I like to share it. And, a lot of times I really wish that I shared that to many people in my family. But, there's some people that, that I would love to share. And there's some people that I don't feel comfortable share. Like, for example, my parents. Let me be honest. They don't know if I'm bi or anything. Okay. They don't know that. And sharing them would actually be like, it's something that shouldn't be a big deal. And what matters to them, they don't really support it, and I don't really care, but they're still my family. That's the thing. Other than that, had that talk. That was a highlight of that moment, especially us walking around the park and talking about financial stuff, telling them like, man, this YouTube thing, I'm trying to take it seriously. And he said like, yeah, man, listen, you gotta really take this seriously. You gotta make it big, and a bunch of other stuff to add on. So that was a deep, emotional conversation here and there, and also my other cousin as well. He was taking photos of me skating, stuff like that. There were some highlights and all that. So that was fun. But yeah, a good, amazing time, and in this, that I try to recap this whole trip in LA, and then I went back to Oakland. It was pretty much like I forget. It was like in the 5th of January or whatever. But yeah, I went back home, and I pretty much had to take a few days, basically a week of quarantine, to see if my test results are, because I did got tested. They put the swab and everything on me, and yeah, I just waited for my results to see if I'm tested negative or positive. And I was really hoping. I think I felt like somewhat sick when I actually was going there, and I was like, crap, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but apparently I did. I don't know why I doubted myself. I was like, man, I feel good. I'm okay now. So here I am. I'm safe in my home, and right now, yeah, I'm pretty much, all cured up, from waiting that long. And let me tell you, the whole quarantine area that I was in, pretty much at my uncle's, man, I couldn't record anything. I was trying to record a video. I did actually, and it was me whispering, but you literally couldn't hear me because they can literally hear me. With that, the fact that if I use my voice right now as I'm doing it, as I'm recording this video, they could literally it would wake them up because I was trying to do it when they were sleeping, like really late, like 2 a.m. And man, I was really like nervous. I was like, crap, I think they can hear me and stuff like that. And my parents like next to me is like, oh damn, I bet they can hear me and all that. Even though I was in my quarantine area, from far away from them, but I just get this feeling like, man, do they hear me or not? Like, I was worried. And thankfully, as I got out there, which is literally today, literally like in the same day as we're recording this, is the same day that I actually came to this house, and I packed everything. I pretty much put everything away. I cleaned up a little bit. I'm on my bed right now, so yeah, all things are good. And this whole vacation thing was not easy. There was a lot of worries here and there. There was literally like a lot of moments where I'm like, oh man, this is my life. Because the moment that my mom told me like, listen, there might be a chance you have to live in like, a hotel, or probably like in my head, I probably might live in my car if I want to save money and all that. But no, that didn't happen. Pretty much I was, tested negative, all thanks to the booster. And yeah, I feel good. And I felt relief. I felt so relieved that I'm back home. Not really my home, but I feel relief that I'm back to my comfort home, my place where I usually record videos and stuff like this. And I never thought that I would, and pretty much the whole thing with that trip, a somewhat upset thing, that I didn't record anything. Look, pretty much this whole vacation trip wasn't for me to record anything or nothing like that. It wasn't for me to worry about YouTube. It was just for me to take a break because I needed it. Because I had a very stressful and very unfortunate last year, or at least end of the year, and it always feels like that. It feels like no year is getting better, and that's what I keep thinking. Like, is any year ever gonna get better? Is any year gonna be, just normal in the way how it used to be, or is it just gonna get worse and worse? Because let me be honest, it feels like that, and it's okay to not be okay. I think I was taking that lesson from my cousin, like, hey, it's okay to not be okay, man. Like, and I agree, pretty much there's times where I do talk about stuff in this channel that are not pretty, that's going on with my life. And that's what happened with last of it. And, there's times where I gotta be honest, I did actually tear up a little bit because I was just so fed up. I was just like, man, I don't know what's happening, but, I'm still praying. I'm still like, hoping that I actually really, continue my life and knowing that I'll be okay and things will get better. But man, there's times where I just really, thankfully with this platform here, I get to share this and let you guys know like what I'm really going through mentally and also like reality. So other than that, yeah, that was just my whole trip. And yeah, let's get into what I've been really thinking about actually doing since I'm back. I'm still thinking about doing like, top games that I've been playing. Also my other channels like Top Scares and Top Dancers. That's something that my second channel that is doing. Focus on the street aspect, which is my street channel, but also it's kind of like a channel that has nothing to do with webtoon. It's just some other stuff. It's sometimes gaming as well. But yeah, these are ideas that is just in my mind where I'm like, man, okay, I gotta think I ought to set these up. But the most important thing was the top webtoon romances, since this is what this channel focuses on. And yeah, that's what I've been looking forward to as of late. And that's, yeah, some other news and here and there. Yeah, I don't know, some gaming stuff. That's what I do want to share. But yeah, such amazing. Shout out to my boy Isaiah and Angel that actually took me in and pretty much gave me a place to sleep and whatnot, and I was chilling. So that was a fun time. Okay, big shout outs to them. Yeah, other than that, I did play their PS5, or at least Isaiah's PS5. But man, I gotta share some games that I've been playing there. Like I've been playing like Spider-Man Miles Morales. That was a cool game. Caravan Stories, this was like a free to play. Also Atom Universe, that was a free to play. So these two free to play games. But there was one game that he owns, and was Spider-Man Miles Morales, the Spider-Man game. It was so fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work too. I forget how open world games are a lot of work. But also, actually, there was a sale going on, New Year's sale on the Switch, and I actually bought a couple of games. So one of them was Torchlight, Torchlight 3, I think. I haven't got through that game. But the one game that I've been playing right now is Assassin's Creed Rebel Collection. And I've been playing a crap load of Assassin's Creed Rogue. The fact that, look, I pretty much, I'm not the, I don't know if I would say I'm a biggest fan of Assassin's Creed. Right now, it's one of my favorite games, and because of just the amount of things to do, and man, I've been actually grinding here and there. The game is not easy, but man, there is like so much, like pretty much it does, like 8 hours is not enough to actually finish most of the stuff in the game. So I know I had to really, do some other stuff, and I haven't even touched Black Flag yet. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And also the other Assassin's Creed, which is in other consoles, stuff like that. But one day when I do get a PS5, hopefully I get to play them, if I ever have the money, it's all about the money. But yeah, just a bunch of games I've been playing and here and there. Also some news surrounding some podcasts that I've been listening to, like Kind of Funny. Greg is back. Finally. Like I've been wondering, like, man, he's got to come back or anything. He is. And boy, did he actually send a message. There was this bit he did in the first podcast and Kind of Funny, which one of my favorite podcasts ever. And he was like, sharing and was talking about like Man, you guys thought I was gone. You thought, and then he was like holding a baby. He threw it away, which was a fake baby, because that was the reason why he was gone, because he's a father now. And now he just pulls out the sunglasses, freaking Doctor Respect style, and just it was like the best bit. I just couldn't stop watching that bit, honestly. But yeah, Greg is back, kind of funny. If you don't know who that is, I salute to you. I'm kidding. E3 online. Also, this is another thing I want to be talk about. I want to talk about because hey, gaming stuff in terms of bigger news and something like that, I do kind of share here and there. So E3, the biggest like gaming convention out there, also a convention that or a conference or whatever you may call it, that I kind of want to experience, and also want to experience seeing other people experience, because I want to see a freaking live event. But it's not going to happen because apparently they are announced that it's going to be online, and I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, there's certain things that are online where it seems okay and stuff like that, but there's some things that are like, man, why couldn't this be like, what, like, just have it saved? Like, you never know what's gonna happen in a couple years and stuff like that. Like, can you just, like, I don't know, it just, man, they just decided to have it online. It was like, damn, I guess no convention here. And this made me worried about the other conventions, because there are some conventions out there that I do want to see. I want to come back to conventions. I want to come back to Fanime, Comic-Con. I want to come back to TwitchCon. I really want to know whenever that's going to happen, or any event, because there was conventions that were open, especially last year in the summer when the vaccination was in full. But man, it was just like, no other events just decided like, yep, taking steps. This winter just shows that. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I guess, we just got to wait and see. Because, it's early in the year. It's early in the year. We just got to wait and see. I mean, come on. Some event has to kick off the year, somehow. But, nope. Apparently none of them. Because it's just every event itself, like, if they have to be closed down and stuff, I just really want to have that experience that I got within the anime community, to go or the gaming community, just to go back to a convention, because conventions inspired me to actually create a lot of stuff in my channel the way that I want to do. This whole reading, the whole thing of my personality is because of conventions, because one day I do want to do a fan made up in a convention, and that's going to be the biggest and stuff like that, events and showcases that I'm going to be, doing. Like, man, it will be a big thing. I mean, you guys, like, come on, that's something that I want to do. But of course, we're in a different year, and the new normal, as they like to call it, it's just really raining upon us. And I'm like, looking at this because of the new something, that I can't say because YouTube will get me. But it's really affecting a lot from schools, and I've been seeing it in the news. And I know I shouldn't watch the news, but man, there's some things that are important that you can't that you cannot get away because of the news. So that's what's been going on. I'm kind of like curious, like, what is gonna happen in a couple of months here and there, but who can tell, honestly, right? Anyways, let's go with the Tooncast. I don't know if I would call this Tooncast. It's just one thing. I know I'm supposed to talk about like stuff surrounding Ladybug Miraculous, but who wants to hear that? I haven't watched anything Miraculous. I haven't even finished up Amphibia yet. Actually, I did. I did see the Christmas special from Amphibia, and that was good. That was not bad. Okay, that was pretty good. I forget. I have like a Disney Plus. That's a Christmas gift. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, in Encanto, I don't know how to say it. Okay, look, if you ever push any, like, if you ever like give me any Spanish words to say, I will embarrass myself. Look, I know. I live in California. You think the majority of people in California speak Spanish because we have Spanish names like San Francisco and Los Angeles? Nope. You think I speak Spanish? Absolutely not. Okay. I know I've been to Spanish countries, Mexico, Belize, Dominican Republic, like, beautiful places, but I never spoke the language. Okay. It was just a good amount of my family actually spoke it. So that's how I made, survive and all that. But for me, I can't speak it. I'm just going to be honest. I can't speak the language. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me to do. Okay. And so, yeah. Encanto, I think it's called. Beautiful movie. I saw it, on Disney Plus. It was not bad. Okay, it was like, man, I was expecting stuff here and there where it's like, I saw stuff that was like, it wasn't really that crazy or anything like that. But the story and also just the visuals of this movie is beautiful. Of course, Disney never disappoints with the visuals, but this one for me, like I just love, certain movies, especially animations that's surrounded in Latino culture. Like I just like that. That's what I like to watch. Latino and also European culture itself is one of my favorites in terms of watching it. Sure, I love watching something that is related, like in Korea, which I wouldn't be surprised if Disney makes like a Korean like movie itself. They already did something for like the Philippines. About with the Ryan Dragon, which is showcasing that, which was pretty cool, and probably something with Japan. I don't know. Would that be a surprise if Disney made an anime? If Disney made an anime, I think they did. I couldn't recall. I don't know. Okay, it's Disney. What do you want from me? But man, Encanto, very good, very good. It was a good movie. A couple like the musicals wasn't really rememberable or something. At least for now, I probably have to rewatch it to actually get familiar with some of the music because there were some songs I liked, but I kind of forgot about it. But other than that, the movie was pretty good. I mean, I can see the hype. I was wondering about the hype, but now I see it. Okay, good stuff. And also another movie that I watched was somewhat important. I really wish I spoke about this first starting this podcast, but Don't Look Up. It's a Netflix film. It's pretty good. Man, I really enjoy how the message of this movie and also how wacky it is. It's like, the end of the world, one of those kind of movies. But this one is about the end of the world, but also how people process it, which kind of paints an interesting picture of today's reality. How people are just too political, except, other than, just instead of focusing on politics and capitalism and all that jazz, that the world gives, the giddies, they couldn't focus about how they're gonna really, help humanity, help the world to be safe, help the planet, and this kind of showcases that. Not sure if that's a spoiler, but this movie itself, if you've seen the pictures in the trailer and all that, you know what it's about. Basically it's just about how the world is ending and stuff like that. And yeah, this movie really kind of goes into that deep with a comedic flow to it. I don't know if I was planning to really record a review for it or anything like that, but for this movie, like, I don't know, for my review skills itself, I mean, I wouldn't be perfect enough to actually, there's other reviews that are actually at best better than what I'm about to give about, Don't Look Up. But man, it's such a good movie. It was like the acting, especially from Leonardo, and also Jennifer Lawrence did a good job as well. And yeah, just Jonah Hill was in there. It was like, man, Jonah Hill, is that you? I thought you have like a beard and gray hair or something. Nope, it's almost like he never aged. And especially how when films are good with that technology, not aging technology. Oh my goodness. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you subscribe, like, comment, all the jazz. It feels good to be back. It feels good to be back knowing that I get to do this again. And yeah, it's just like, feels like, man, I never, like, I don't know, it feels like years that I haven't recorded anything. Even though I'm supposed to take a break, but hopefully you enjoy. Look, I only have like these few videos. The boyfriends and this. Okay, what you want? Okay. Wasn't planning to put anything, and rightfully so, because I was literally in full quarantine. I really was hoping to actually record something, but I, of course, didn't have enough time, and, I just needed a break. That's all. Anyway, see you when I see you. A peace.